broke a 4. They made a lot of changes. 2nd and 17. Jackson out of the pocket, looking downfield. The fake. Oh, video game. Morgan Cox, the snapper. Some token pressure. Cook's punt. Along the sideline and well placed. Mahomes has been money. 13 of 16. 121 yards and a touchdown. Running play. McCoy bursting through. Line of scrimmage is the 17. McCoy remains in there. Mahomes looking to throw it. He will. Delivers downfield. Catch made. McCall Hardman. Touchdown, Kansas City. 83 yards caps off the 3-play, 96-yard drive. Mark Ingram in there. 1:55 to work with.
Buenos días, ¿cómo estás? Ok. Ajá. Ok. Perfecto. Ok. A ver, ¿quién me la mandó? Ajá. Ok. Ok. Ok, ya atendí. Go to webinar con esa. Ok. Ok. ¿Me quedo aquí contigo entonces? Ok, perfecto. Gracias. Perfecto, gracias.
Hola, Ana Luisa, aquí estoy yo
Hola,
también.
Becky.
Buenos
Eso.
días. Me
Permíteme.
voy a poner en silencio, pero aquí estoy.
Ok, perfecto. Yo también, Becky, acá estoy. Pero no entró sus audífonos. Acá, ¿dónde está? Está atrás. ¿En dónde atrás?
I work in social and environmental impact, which means I spend a lot of my day thinking about some big, hairy problems. Think climate change or social injustice. And I didn't get into this work by accident. I have been addicted to problem solving for most of my life. Some people, like my mom, my husband, my boss, my sister, my kids, most of my friends, and probably my dog, might say, I'm a chronic problem solver, a fixer. And it's not just the big stuff. I like small problems too. If you hand me a necklace chain with a knot in it, you are not getting it back until it's undone. You know when one of your drawstrings disappears? Yeah, I'm your gal. I'll check your hair for lice. I will help you get your keys out of your locked car. I'm the first one to tell you if you've got a little bit of spinach right there, and I might even try to get it out for you. As a kid, I like to tell people what to do. I actually still really like to tell people what to do. I feel like I'm helping, offering free advice, though it's not always seen that way. At 16, I told my parents that they were clearly not happily married and they should get a divorce. Problem? Solution. Now, this fixation of mine can be a gift. I have helped so many friends through a marital challenge or a job change or even a fashion crisis. But there are also those times when my determination to solve a problem becomes the problem itself. Most recently, this has been with my daughter, who just graduated from high school. Yeah, she is among the thousands of teens around the world who graduated from high school during COVID-19. These kids lost their prom, the end of their high school sports career, their senior week, their senior trip, and the moment that marks 13 years of hard work, high school graduation. Now, the thing about my daughter is she is no stranger to disappointment. For 2 years running in 5th and 6th grade when playing volleyball and soccer, her teams never won a single game, not one. I kept wanting a win and she kept playing and having fun. It was like the pizza parties and snack time were the highlights, not the scoring. For all 8 years of doing musical theater, hoping one time to get the leading role, it never happened. I felt the loss every time, and she persevered. She showed resilience, seemed unflappable. I felt deflated. One time, she came bounding in the house, so excited, announcing, "I got the crow in The Wizard of Oz." Oh, finally her breakthrough role. "You are the scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz? That's amazing." She looked confused. "No, Mom, I'm one of 3 crows in scene 2. I had to bite my tongue from asking, "What crows in scene 2? Instead, I just responded, "That's great. You are going to be so good." And honestly, she was so good. And then the letdowns got more personal. 8th grade and freshman year, her friend groups changed a lot. Her longtime friends were no longer her friends, and her new friends came and went. Now, this may sound familiar to you. Adolescents, kids are cruel, and friendships change in high school. A lot of kids go through a rough patch. They make movies about the mean girls in high school, like the one called Mean Girls. But she cried a lot in those years, and it scared me. At one point, she said she felt depressed, so I sent her to therapy. She started eating lunch in the bathroom a few times a week and would call me crying. I listened. I ached for her. I tried to make her feel better. I bought her little gifts, a set of Be Happy cards and a gratitude journal, convinced that those things would turn it around. But they didn't. Her bad days became my bad days too. And then sophomore year, junior year, things got worse. And then a lot worse, fast. She started cutting class and stopped doing her schoolwork. She was lying and sneaking out and lashing out. Things were spiraling downhill so fast, and I was just trying to keep it from hitting bottom. The day we learned that she had cut herself with a razor blade for the first time, I took a leave of absence from work. I was now in full-time rescue mode as she became addicted to vaping, was getting drunk, and started smoking weed every single day to dull her pain. I called doctors. I took her in for a mental health assessment. I kept trying to fix her until I couldn't anymore. It was December of her junior year and we dropped her off at a wilderness therapy program. That's where struggling kids go to live off the grid for a number of weeks and do some deep, transformative work. It wasn't until after she was gone that I was told that my problem-solving ways were probably part of the problem. I was told that maybe I was a rescuer and that I hadn't given her a chance to learn valuable coping skills when she was younger. Learning to struggle and suffer is part of growing up, they explained. As things had gotten harder for her, I tried harder to make it better, to make it stop hurting so much. Even in her early years, when she was dealing with loss so well, I may have overcompensated. I learned words like enmeshed, that I may have been overly involved and emotionally attached to her experiences. I was told to practice detachment. Now, those were a lot of new words and a lot of new information to digest. I had invested so much in being a good mom, whatever that means. And I know that I have no idea what I'm doing in this job of motherhood. I've made mistakes. But I'd read books and listened to podcasts and saw experts speak about raising self-reliant kids. I believed in the blessing of a skin knee, and I wanted my kids to learn how to deal with failure and discomfort. But I was starting to realize that I couldn't deal with it. I was the one who couldn't tolerate the discomfort of her emotions. She came home the summer before her senior year, sober, stable, self-aware, with a toolkit of coping skills at the ready.